रोशनी का सफर रोशनी का सफर रोशनी. The history of Ahmadiyyat is replete with the stories, narrations, and incidences of the sacrifices of missionaries and their families. Many are recorded, some are just narrated verbally, yet some are still untold. I will unfold one such story of a missionary, Maulana Qureshi Maqbool Ahmad Sahib. In the late 1940s, Maulana Qureshi Maqbool Ahmad Sahib was a young father to a sick 1-year-old daughter. Her skin was all red and blistered, and her body was hot with a fever due to smallpox immunization. It was at this time that Maqbool Sahib was commissioned to leave for London as a missionary. He had to take the train to Karachi and leave by ship from there. It was too costly by air. When Maqbool Sahib was about to board the ship, some unseen worries and fears took over and emotions ran high. Maqbool Sahib's wife was also pregnant with her second child at that time, who was born a few months later and then died within 2 years.
Maqbool Sahib never saw his son Mansoor, who was born and died while he was away. Both Mr. and Mrs. Maqbool Sahib endured this painful separation to uphold the path of Ahmadiyyat to spread the true Islam. As a child, my wife Nasira often asked her mother how her father looked like and why he was away. Her mother would explain that he is doing God's work to spread the message of true Islam.
Muhammad Ismail Sahib Motabir, a Sahabi, was the father of Maqbool Sahib. He waqfed his son Maqbool to the service of Ahmadiyyat. When Maqbool Sahib was commissioned, he took on the role of a father to his granddaughter. When Hazrat Muslim Maud Anhu asked all the devotees and their families to come to Rabwa, Maqbool Sahib's family moved as well. During this time, tents were erected for all the workers of Anjuman and Tariq-e-Jadid. There was no electricity and no water in the desolate and barren tract of land named Rabwa. They all had to sleep on the ground in the dim light of a lantern.
My mother-in-law would collect some dry thorn bushes fluttering around in the field to light a fire and stay awake all night long to keep herself and her children safe from the crawling bugs, the most common being snakes and scorpions. At few times she had to kill snakes with her own stick. Then Muhammad Ismail Sahab Motabar, who was a Sahabi, joined them and got some supplies from the Jamaat. That was wood to make the charpai and a hay rope to weave that cord. In the beginning, the supply included supplies for only one bed per family.
These were the humble beginnings of Rabwa, where members of the missionaries sacrificed everything for the sake of Allah and for the propagation of Islam. 5 years after his departure, Maqbool Sahib returned home. His 6-year-old daughter Nasira was among the big welcoming crowd at the Rabwa railway station. Everyone rejoiced by putting flowers around his neck. This was the girl's Abbaji, whose hug and love was long awaited for. To others, a missionary came home. To a 6-year-old girl, her Abbaji, her beloved father, came home.
It is a hard thing to give up what you know for the unknown. No one wants to give up their comforts, but it is in God that we find our deepest satisfaction. My father-in-law knew that. My mother-in-law understood that. Without the faith and sacrifice of our missionaries and their families, where would we be? Where would the world be?
Maulana Qureshi Maqbool Ahmad Sahib sacrificed time and time again for the cause of the faith. He went on many missions, leaving his family for the propagation of Ahmadiyyat. This is the case for many of God's foot soldiers, the missionaries that spread his word. It is through them that we carry the message of Ahmadiyyat, the true Islam. जारी रहे बंदगी का सफर यूं ही जारी रहे बंदगी का सफर आओ करते रहे रोशनी का सफर आओ करते रहे रोशनी रोशनी का सफर यूं ही जारी